Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Game 3 in a best of 5. It could be our last game, though. DK leading 2-0. Vici Gaming have been getting thwomped, they've been getting crushed, they've been getting knocked around, slapped down, whatever you want to call it. It's been ugly. Well, I'm LDB on the summit. I'm joined here today by Winter. Winter, you said 3-0 or 3-1. Do you think it's a 3-0?
Probably. If you look at the stats, when a team has Alchemist, I guess you wouldn't like the odds of playing against Alchemist.
Oh my god, that hero is... I went on like a long rant the other day. I just think he's too useful. Like, he's too good. You could do Roche really early. His stun does more damage than like anything except maybe Soul Assumption for like the first 10 minutes of the game. He doesn't need that much farm, but he uses it well. He can roam effectively. He can switch into more of a farming role as the game drags on. He's too good, man. That hero just does too much.
There's only one downside of the hero now. He's not a very good safe lane carry. That's why nobody does it anymore. But apart from that, he's very useful in every single freaking department.
I mean, how many heroes can either solo mid or play support? Like,
only one hero. I think only one hero can be more useful than Alchemist now. But that hero is not in CM mode. The Earth Spirit.
Oh god, that I'm firmly in the ban Earth camp. Every pub game I play, people just insta pick Earth Spirit and
you should pick Earth Spirit.
Pick and repick. Yeah, I probably should. You know, like people who pick Earth Spirit pickers should just feel dirty. Like they should feel bad. You should not feel good about winning after picking Earth Spirit. If you do, there's something wrong with you.
It's for the points.
Gotta get that MMR. I actually think you should get less MMR if you win with Earth Spirit. I would be okay with that.
No, you should lose MMR if you pick Earth Spirit.
Lose it no matter what. Even if you go 20-0 and like 20, somewhat. Lose some MMR. Okay, enough about that, Winter. The draft is well underway for Game 3. First pick went to DK. They first picked the Alk. He's been getting banned. He wasn't this time. Timbersaw, Shadow Demon, the reply from Vici. And then the Crystal Maiden for DK. So Crystal Maiden Alk, really strong support duo. The CM can go jungle. They can dual roam very effectively. They've got a lot of burst damage, good initiation, really good initiation range, actually. These two supports pretty much can do whatever they want. Or they could run the Alchemist mid if they want to.
I don't really think Alchemist mid will be what they run. They can do it, but Vici Gaming can respond. If they see Mushi playing the Alchemist, they can just respond by having their Timbersaw in the middle lane, and that would be greatly ineffective for the Alchemist to solo mid against the Timbersaw.
Yeah, that would be a really good matchup. And the Mirana comes out for Vici Gaming, so a little speed gaming flavor, perhaps. Disruption, arrow combo. Well, not even speed gaming at this point. Everyone runs it, but are we going to see those big arrows? We didn't really see many in Game 1.
This game 1 was what was the supports?
They did not have a great setup. Yeah, no, Rubik Shadow Demon on DK.
They didn't have good setup for the Mirana stun. The Shadow Demon disruption is one of the best setups that the Mirana arrow can have, and it deals a lot of damage with the Soul Assumption. So it's pretty much instant death to whoever who gets caught out in that combination. Wow.
Wisp? Oh boy, here comes Tony. Tony in the house.
No. Carry Alchemist?
It could be. I think we'll see Tony or Gyro.
Tony is good against Timbersaw. Cleave doesn't care about your reactive armor. I like that. And
so good against Shadow Demon.
Avalanche Toss is very good against Timbersaw too. Nuke damage, reactive armor.
Yeah. I would say he's not that good against Shadow Demon. Purge and Disruption really hurt Tiny, but that's true for all carries, so I don't think it's a reason not to pick him. Ooh, they go Templar Assassin here. Very good against Wisp, as well as Alchemist. In fact, all three of these heroes have really low armor, so they're very vulnerable to physical burst damage, and Vici Gaming have that now. They also have the option to go Roche fairly early if they get ahead. And,
yeah, they can do it very early with the Templar Assassin. But I would be looking at if DK wants to put the Alchemist. Like, it depends on the Alchemist. How do they want to play? That's the most important puzzle right now for me. Whether they have the Alchemist as Mushi's hero, solo mid, but it could potentially get countered by if Vici Gaming want to do a Timbersaw middle, or even I think TA is okay against Alchemist, but Alchemist against Timbersaw is very bad matchup for Alchemist.
Alchemist TA, you're saying?
No, Alchemist
Oh,
TA is,
yeah, I was
is
gonna
okay.
say that's okay because you have acid
Yeah,
spray.
no, it's Timber Swap. If it's a Timber Swap, if they swap out the lanes and they have the TA not middle, TA safe lane or something like that, and Timber Swap middle, that could be really horrible for the Alchemist. And Vici Gaming can run an aggressive tri lane against
Yeah.
the Wiz, the Shadow Demon Mirana, and one more, maybe a Leshrac.
Interesting. I mean, the other thing to consider with the Timbersaw mid is you can't really punish it by like some heroes are like really good 1v1, but you can dual lane them. Like especially with Wisp, you'd think maybe they would consider dual laning mid, but it doesn't. You can't really dual lane a Timbersaw. The Wisp is just going to be food if you try to do that. The only, I guess, the main option is maybe they just do some like really aggressive smoke yanks early on, or they just say we're going to lose that lane and try and make up for it elsewhere.
Maybe they'll just look to come back later in the game, but it's gonna be Tony.
Seconds remaining.
It's gonna be Tony's luck.
Tony Sama.
5 seconds remaining.
I will say that the DK's Wisp play is really good. I think the only thing that concerns me, like I don't think they execute the Rat Dota as well as say like a team like Fnatic. They just they seem a little less coordinated and polished, but their
Not
Wisp
as-
play is very
not
good.
Not as experienced as Fnatic.
Dai is a really good Wisp though. I would put him up there with any of the Western Wisps to be honest.
How about Miracle Wiz?
Well, Miracle Wisp is flashier. He gets like the if it was a slam dunk contest winter, he would win for sure because he's the flashiest. But I think Dai and No Tail and all the other top Wisp players are more stable and reliable.
5
They are the
seconds
support
remaining.
Wiz players, not the carry Wiz players.
Yeah, Miracle. That's the actually. Let me ask you. Like, I'm going off topic here. I guess they'll ban Sandcane, but
Dire team
do you think Miracle is going to ever make a transition to being like a more well-rounded player? Because it seems like he only can win play Miracle Dota right now. Like he has to play Rat Dota, he has to play Split Push, has to be the star of the show.
After his national service, maybe.
Well, that's 2 years, isn't it?
Oh, he's 19 or 18. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's 19.
Oh, is he in his national service yet?
Yeah, soon.
No. Okay, so he still has to do the whole thing. Isn't it a 2-year
10
service?
seconds remaining.
Yeah, 2 years, but you can still play during
Well,
it.
depending on like what you
Seconds
get, right?
remaining.
Yeah.
I know.
So back-
I know Lysander might have to do national
Reserve
service.
time.
He mentioned to me.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on stream, but I guess I did. So
You are not supposed to say a lot.
if anybody knows important people in Singapore, get Lysander out of his national service. We don't want to lose him. He's too funny.
So you're gonna get him into,
10 seconds.
you know.
remaining.
No, I'm saying someone in Singapore has to help him. They'll go for a Lifestealer though. Vici gave me will,
Turn
and
to pick.
a good hero against
What?
Tiny. Rage, very good against him. You don't have to worry about.
Support Tiger.
Yeah, support Mirana. I mean, Lifestealer matches up well against Tiny on paper. I guess the one issue is that with Wisp, then they can kind of just kite you.
Yeah, I think the last pick was mainly because they wanted to find a solution against Tony, and Mirana is not a good solution against Tony, so they went for the Lifestealer, and they opted to downgrade the Mirana to a support. And the Sand King ban was mostly because Sand King is a good way to deal with the relocate, since you can see the relocate coming at Epi and blink into the relocate position. So and Vici Gaming looks like they want to go for a support. So the last ban was the Sand King, and maybe Vici Gaming felt that they didn't have the hero they wanted to get, the Sand King, and they just wanted to change up their lineup with the Lifestealer.
It looks like, how are they what are they going to do for the lanes? Just off-lane Lifestealer, you think? Or do they go-
Maybe they do FY jungling Lifestealer, Shadow Demon Mirana on the safe lane. If they want to go, that's the greediest they can go.
That's
Team-
like the way Mouse Sports was doing it back when
Yeah.
Black was on the team. They'd always do the jungle
Timber-
Lifestealer for Quakefan and just abandon the offlane.
What Venomancer? So Venomancer is
Farming
off lane.
Venomancer. Could be a solo mid. I've seen Mushi go solo mid before on this.
Off lane Alchemist, LGD China style.
Or was that Mushi? Maybe it was. Well, LGD
Yeah,
obviously
was-
does it all the time.
It was Moshi playing Avino at MLG, and
And that went really poorly for them. Yeah, I remember.
you
that.
were disappointed at why is he playing Venomancer.
Well, and then his item build was just really weird. Like he went Manta style, and that was not a. I did not like that
He's
game.
a carry player. You don't expect him to build Acceptor on Veno.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat on Mushi here, so we'll let it be. He's gonna be Alchemist though, so it will be Ice 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 Fenna.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay.
I would they look to? I don't think they can lane this anywhere else. If they can't really put the Timbersaw middle since they choose to get the lifesteal in the last pick, so it'll be a TA versus Alchemist. That's a decent matchup.
Yeah, it is, and I guess the other thing is, on paper, Venno is one of the few heroes they can actually do pretty well against. He can do well against a Timbersaw. He can do quite well against a Lifestealer.
Yeah.
So Venno can actually win these solo matchups. So I think that was the game plan. Is we want a hero that can actually win a 1v1.
And if you think about it, Vino, if he gets caught out somewhere, drops his ultimate and Gale, that's a perfect setup for the Wiz and the Tiny to just come in and clean house.
Yeah, wait until they all drop low and then go. But guys, hold that thought because we might have a level 1 engagement. Nope. Die gonna spot Vici Gaming out. And they will retreat. So I will introduce my team. It's Vici Gaming. All my rares on this guy right here. RTK, the R-God. They want EMS, but they have not looked too solid without Sylar. He'll be playing the Timbersaw Super on the Lifestealer. Fenrir, the support Shadow Demon. That puts Mikasa onto the solo mid TA. Oh boy. He's got a Wraith Band. He's been pulled. He'll be up against Mushi, though, once again. And last but not least, we do have FY playing a support Mirana.
And on the Radiant side, we have our Southeast Asian buddies. Mushi playing the Alchemist. Lamb will be on the Crystal Maiden. Burning will be on Tony, the Rock Guy. MMY will be playing the Rock Guy's partner, the Wiz.
Battle begins.
And lastly, we have Ice on the Ugly Venomancer.
Ew. I don't like the remake for Vino. He was like cute almost before. Now he's like disgusting little beast. Well, I guess that's the goal. He's not supposed to be cuddly in any fashion. And Vici Gaming, they'll get the 1 minute or the 0 minute rune rather, and they know that DK have not been able to ward their own jungle, so they're gonna go for a first blood mid. And
The lanes are not as.
this could be a first blood. This really could be. Tiny has 0 base armor.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Disruption to start. Is the arrow gonna be on time? It is just on time. Nails
Wow.
it. Here come the right clicks, the refraction. It's enough. Burning goes down and Vici Gaming started off the right way.
Top
But
lane.
top lane, it will be RTK. Dropping quite low and going down. Yes, he is.
He's
1 for 1.
armor.
But I think
armor not
I think if you're Vici Gaming, you're still very happy with that.
Yeah, you are indeed very happy of that. And that arrow looked like, I don't know, man. It looked like it wasn't gonna hit.
Yeah, I felt like it was like a quarter of a second too early, but it was just the right time. Just the right
Yeah,
time.
perfectly timed, I would say. It's gonna be another second attempt on Burning. Oh boy, if he dies again now.
This is such smart play though, because they went aggressive in the enemy jungle, and they know that DK don't have wards bottom, so there's really no way to stop this except having a support here. And they tango through. They look for through the arrow. Will the creep block it? No, it won't.
Wow.
But here comes Wisp, and Mikasa's very low. No refraction. He almost went down there. He will manage to escape, and they'll continue to chase. But I don't think they're catching Fenrir. Actually, they are because Mushi's come in. He's rotated all the way off the bottom lane. Avalanche is there. Well, they're getting some space for their Lifestealer, who is 7 and 7, but this comes at a cost.
When did Mushi manage to get boots? He actually had boots.
He started with 550 gold. He was pulled, and he just bought like 2 branches.
Wow.
So
Without the
that's
boots,
why.
I don't know if he would have arrived on the scene effectively, but he helped his team get a kill there. That was really crucial to elevate some of the pressure Burning had on his lane.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's very unusual to see a solo on a side lane rotate towards mid at 2 minutes. That was, I mean, even with boots, that's still a big commitment. If he doesn't get a kill there, then he's really given up a lot. Because I mean,
Yeah,
look at Super.
he's
12 and 10 in a 1v1.
He's coming in again and top lane. They're gonna go for RTK. Nowhere to start off. Frostbite as well. He's gonna go down here.
Boom shakalaka. That was easy.
He's actually having a tougher time than Burning.
You know, the way they're playing the Wisp is, it kind of reminds me of Dai's Lion. Even though Lion's not really the best roaming hero, they'll still roam with him a lot anyway. And the same for Wisp. I mean, a decent roaming hero, but obviously, generally a hero you want to get levels on first. But DK are just catching Vici Gaming off guard. Constant rotations, and look at the wards. This tower is under siege.
Look at the approach they took for the game as well. Ice actually didn't skill Gale until just at level 4, and Mushi totally abandoned his lane and he sacked one camp of Ancient there after helping Burning get a kill, and he's gonna just sit behind Burning. He doesn't want anywhere to be near bottom lane. And now the supports of Vici Gaming noticing that Mushi is not in lane at all, they're gonna rotate to help out the top lane. Timbersaw is having such a bad time. Middle lane as well, but TA doesn't really need help too much now. They need to help the Timbersaw first.
The problem is, like, at this point, if he goes back bottom, he's just gonna feed, because Super has face boots now.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, he can't lane against the lifestealer anymore. If you think about it, only the Vino can lane against the lifestealer now. Arrow?
Oh, sorry, I missed that, but I guess it didn't hit anyone.
Yeah, it didn't.
Okay.
Our DK is gonna finally get his boots.
Now they go in middle lane. On Mikasa, they drop him pretty low. They've got an avalanche here. There's no toss follow-up, unfortunately, lacking the mana. Wisp is bottling up. But it was just a little too late.
Wow, regen.
Dire's
Talk about
middle
luck.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Mikasa is going to get it, but he doesn't have boots. Can DK run him down? They might just be able to. Oh no! Avalanche is there. It's got multiple instances of damage. It will quickly shoot through the refraction, but
Oh,
not a. Oh, it is enough. Crystal Maiden comes in as well. Timely ward. Lamb, right place, right time. He's 1-0-2.
so I don't know what to say about the TA being lucky to find the regen rune. I guess it wasn't.
You
DK.
jinxed the hell out of her, man. Now bottom lane.
Another lane swap. So they're gonna leave Mushi the middle lane because nobody can stand against a lifestealer. They need more than one down here.
The other option was, like you said, to put Veno here, but Tiny Wisp are not going to do well against this tri-lane of Vici with the start they've had. Only level 3 on
Yeah.
Wisp. Actually, they do have a decent amount of farm,
This
though.
is a better rotation, I feel. I have to agree with what DK is doing. It's a better rotation, not to have the Vino bottom.
I think Timbersaw, as hard as Lifestealer is to lane against, Timbersaw is even tougher for this lineup early on, so they're going to let him be. Later on, though, like you said, they have a lot of magic damage, and you know, Timbersaw normally tanky against physical damage, but he's vulnerable to just that magical burst, so he'll be fairly easy to deal with later on, I feel.
Yeah, and talking about the off lane, Vino can just, since he had such a good start, he can just use his wards to farm. Right now he's level 5 and doesn't really need the protection at all. So this is a perfect situation for Vino Mancer to survive in the off lane.
Lamb thinking of dewarding. He wants that 50 gold, and he's gonna get it.
Arrow? No, they're gonna slow him and kill
This
him.
is
He's
a
dead.
dead Crystal Maiden. No TP, no way out. But he got his 50 gold, so value created, and they could lose 2 with an arrow here. Will there be an arrow? I feel like you should shoot that. Even if you don't hit it, no big deal. Take a shot.
Yeah, because if you hit the arrow on the Whis, you can probably kill him.
Radiant's
Yeah,
And if you
with
don't,
phase
you
boots
don't-
on Lifestealer, that's like a guaranteed kill.
If you don't hit the arrow, you just lose 100 mana.
He'll go in now on Super. He does have Infest, though, as well as Rage. He'll pop the Infest, and then retreat out. Well,
But
that-
if
that
you
was
look at the lanes now, well, they're gonna go in on MMY.
Oh, Super. I think this could be a feed. There is no mana on the Lifestealer. He's in trouble. No Rage. No way out. One more right click. No, he gets disrupted and salves at the same moment. Oh, the turnaround.
tower is under attack.
That looked really bad, but great support play from Fenrir. I gotta say, Winter, both teams, the supports have been on point today.
Yeah, everyone was actually asking me some people are asking me like, who do I think is the best support duo? Like a lot of people think Fenrir and FY are the best at the moment.
Yeah, both of these teams, I think their support duos kind of get overshadowed because ROTK is such a big personality, and Super has been playing so amazingly well mid. But FY Fenrir and Lamb Dai, to me, are probably the 2 strongest support duos. Well, it's certainly in the East, and definitely in like the top 4 or 5 in the world.
What happened to Nat San King? I thought you were a fan of that.
I'm still a big fan of Net and Extinct, but I'm just not a fan of the way Titan's been playing lately. I don't know. They just seem like they can't have the impact they used to.
Yeah, but Mushi is having a very, very bad time. You look at his CS at 7.5, 8 minutes, it's only 14. This is not Mushi we're looking at.
Yeah, he's doing what he can. He's max acid spray first, and he's going to be farming Ancients, which you still get quite a bit off of this if you're left alone.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good way for him to come back here. And Fenrir's gonna be waiting behind. No, ISSI is gonna TP out right away. Wow.
Yeah. Vici game. How many stunts do they have? They have Disruption and Arrow. That's it.
He didn't actually. I don't think he got hit. Never mind. I don't think he got hit by the second chakram damage. That's why he didn't die. I'm not
Okay.
very sure.
By the way, this Wisp already is a Soul Ring. This is a very farmed Wisp. Soul Ring,
kills
bottle,
assist.
boots. Well, the bottle is tinies, I believe, but still, very farmed.
Yeah, if you get Soul Ring, mostly, yeah, the Tranquil Boots would be very good as well. The regen you get, oh, that's really awesome. Mikasa's
Mikasa,
gonna
he wants to
come in-
contest these Ancients, but he's going to lose all his refraction charges nearly instantly to the Acid Spray. Now he turns on Lamb. Does he have a refraction? Not for a few seconds.
Wow.
He's still diving. Mushi, no stun available. Won't be able to save him. Lamb, a rare
He still
death.
has his refraction damage, but he doesn't have the block on me. He still had the damage.
Mushi really wants that 50 gold. Can't get it yet, though. How many times have you died for that 50 gold, Winter? Be honest.
Top
I-
tower is under attack.
I don't think I have. I try not to get the. I'm not always the one who gets the last hit on the wards. It's always the carry.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the ideal thing, is to give it to them.
You right click the wards as a support, and then the carry comes and uses his culling bait to finish the job.
Yeah. Give me that gold. Top lane, they do go for a disruption. Arrow is way too slow, and now the dive comes. Ice, going deep. He's gonna get Fenrir. He'll pay with his own life here. No, denied! Beautiful denied. Well played indeed. Now look at Ice, so it is a 1-0.
That actually turned out to be really well for VG.
Tactical late arrow, just to give Ice a false sense of security.
And raise his Spinomancer ulti. Yeah,
Not sure.
probably.
So what do you think for Vici Gaming? They're the ones backs against the wall. They've got to win 3 in a row.
Radiant's
Does this
middle
look like a
tower
game
is
they
under
can win,
attack.
Winter?
Yeah, maybe they can do well in the middle game with the control they have on the Roshan and having the TA. They could have a very good chance in controlling the middle game, I feel.
Burning is farming pretty well. He's catching up. The Alk is actually the leader in terms of net worth. Mushi, despite leaving his lane at level 2 and having 1 assist, is the most farmed hero on the Radiant, which... And he doesn't even have Grief's
Wow.
Greed. Just the Ancients, man.
Is he gonna get a dagger?
I love Blink Dagger Alk. Oh my
He-
goodness.
He had like 2,100 and he didn't spend anything yet. He just
'Cause the-
spent his gold.
Because they have Venno to go for the mech, so he really could. He really could.
Yeah, I think Blink Dagger is a very strong item on Alchemist.
And they just cannot evict Ice from this top lane. Sure, he died, but he just keeps on pushing, applying pressure, and normally with the Timber Saw... Oh, sorry, I missed that. Burning does go down bottom lane. Looks like he took an arrow to the face, and now MMY will TP out. And now they're going top with the smoke. But yeah, they just cannot get this
okay.
Veto out of the top lane. And he's... Oh, Gale?
He's gonna know
off the mark.
something's wrong.
Yeah. Look at that. Dude, the damage from Acid Spray unstable... That's too much damage. That's like half his health. And that's a Timber Saw, too.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, acid spray minus armor and concussion does physical damage, so do the
Radiant's
math.
bottom tower is under
Do the
attack.
math. A lot of fucking damage. A lot of fucking damage.
And he hasn't even have a medallion yet.
Radiant's
Usually they get a
bottom tower
medallion
is
to
under
a complement the acid spray and
Dire's top
concussion.
tower is under attack.
And they do take a tier 1 bottom in exchange. So Vici Gaming still getting something out of this. The TA is very farm. 4.7k, going for phase boots. Do you think this is a Blink Dagger game?
I feel he could benefit from the Blink Dagger, but at the same time, the Blink Dagger could hurt him as well. If he goes in to try and kill, the relocate comes in, he could be the one paying after getting the kill. So maybe just get a BKB Yasha damage item, just a carry TA would be a much safer option. What did he just buy?
I think he bought Yasha.
Drums.
Oh, drums.
Drums.
Okay. Yeah, drums is pretty good. And I mean, phase boots, bottle, magic stick, drums. He'll definitely have his mana issues resolved, and they're gonna take this Aegis drums up on super as well. So double drums for this team. Oh no, sorry, that was super's drums. This is there TA drums as well. Oh, TA's going Deso or BKB.
Yeah, he bought a hammer.
Okay, yeah, that
That's
was. I was
later.
gonna say double drums. I'm not a big fan of, but it's still a pretty good item.
Yeah, the tempo right now for DK is like Ice would occupy one lane and Mushi would be jungling with the CM or whatever. The CM even was rich enough to get the phase boots Usually you don't see a phase boost on a CM. And they're just gonna be farming the jungle, farming the ancients, and the Wisp and the Tiny will be waiting for opportunity to pounce. Lamb is gonna get spotted out here.
That was very cocky. He's going deep for a ward. They have an arrow here. They're not throwing it yet. They wanted the chakram slow to set it up. Relocate comes from the backside. It's actually 3 heroes going to ward.
Wow.
It's a backstab. It's a party in the pit, in the river, and DK get the better end of it. They take out 2. It looked like Lamb was just going to go feed, but he had some big backup.
The thing that allowed that to happen was because the arrow came very late. He was waiting too long, and the Wisp, it just gave enough time for the Wisp and the Tiny.
Oh, here comes the backstab. DK, they want more. They're going to fight Fenrir. Acid Spray gets dropped. Jams it in. Burning with the slam dunk on the Shadow Demon. Now they give chase, but they are fighting into a lot of minus armor, a lot of physical damage. Unfortunately, this TA is too squishy. They toss in the Yauk. They keep on chasing. No dust. They can't get that kill. They will settle for a stun on FY. The tower falls mid. DK keep marching forward. 1 more game, and they're going to take the best of 5. There is a buyback for the Veto. Courier going down. The Dire Courier in the midst of this fight. But meanwhile, Super on the run. And that Courier had a Mithril Hammer. Oh no. That's a pretty big item to lose for 3 minutes. Meanwhile, they'll keep on chasing. They want the Mirana. The Spirits will bring them down. Mikasa caught out, isolated, and brought down. Already lost the Aegis. Will die again.
Man,
It's exactly like game 2. They had a good start, then just 1 or 2 awful fights, and it feels like they have no momentum.
Mr. David, that Alchemist did so much work in the fight. Acid Spray, and he dropped like 3 concoctions in the fight and Acid Spray.
And the TA is useless against Al, because he just drops Acid Spray and she cannot fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No refraction.
So much, like this hero just does so much, like you said. He does too much.
I have a feeling he might get a little nerf stick in 6.8, and I'm not going to shed any tears if he does. He is kind of a fun hero, though. I will admit that. Like he's exciting to watch, but he's just, I feel like he's just too strong.
Yeah, and he's going for SMY as well, this game, for Mushi. More movement speed.
Race car out. Pretty good against TA. I mean, this whole Vici gaming lineup is kind of a speed-based lineup. They've gone drums, they have the double phase boots.
And the leap.
And the leap, as well as just all their slows. They have a lot of slows, so Sanjiasha kind of helps counter that.
Yeah, it's just a very good item on the Alchemist at the moment. Like, even with the Aegis, they lost the fight so badly. I think they lost 5 heroes plus the Aegis.
Yeah,
maybe even.
I mean, it's literally like the same thing that happened in game 2. Although I don't think they were ever leading this game as much, but yeah, they had 1,000 gold.
Yeah, they weren't. Like, the problem with the Alchemist was like you can win in the early game against him, the lanes, but Alchemist can make it up by making those rotations and helping his team out because of the way his skill set is. He's just able to give his team so much support.
Die doing some aggressive scouting here. Bernie will give him a safe harbor to tether back to, and he'll retreat. But it feels like Vici Gaming are just kind of pressing. Like they're running a pretty strong, tri-core lineup with a support they can use farm like Mirana, but they're constantly just reacting to DK after that bad fight and not really controlling the tempo.
Yeah, they need to try and take better fights. I feel like maybe have in mind that the Wisp and the Tiny can always come, so picking your fights will be very, very crucial. Maybe just smoke and gank the Tiny's lane instead of ganking the other 3 lane.
Yeah, if you don't gank the lane that the Wisp and Tiny are in, then they always relocate. But if you gank them, the rest of the team can't relocate to the fight. So generally that's the way to go, but they've just been playing very safe. Like Tiny and Wisp backed off top as soon as they saw heroes, they didn't show themselves. Now that they've put a lot of pressure bottom, they figured enemy team's gonna rotate, so we now can get more aggressive.
How can they fight into this? Like Acid Spray plus all the Plague Wards? They can't even run into that.
Mushi. Oh, the arrow off the mark, even when he stunned himself. That's unfortunate. Now Ice unloads his ult. Here comes the backup. Burning's here. Tosses one. That's an easy kill. The Lifestealer will fall. They're doing okay damage, but the Crystal Maiden ult from Lamb. Full duration ultimate. He just murders them all. Toss them in. Slam them down. Lamb, once again, the unsung hero of this team. Well, we're singing his praises here. That ult probably did over like 2,000 damage.
I'm doing the combat log right now. Hang on.
Yeah, me too.
Crystal Maiden. Refresh. Steven taught me how to use the combat log.
Yeah, 181 to...
100.
Oh, those are illusions.
Illusion. freezing field, 78 damage, 78. Wow, that's too many.
Dyer's
I
There's a
think
lot
that
of
I think that did over 1,000 damage, maybe like 1,500 or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of small. The combat log says a lot of small damage. Like,
It says
that's
every
what-
time that like a freezing field hits the. I mean, basically when you see like Crystal Maiden hits enemy hero with freezing field for 78 damage, and you see that like 10, 15 times, she did a lot of damage
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
without having a chance to do the full math. That was a big ult.
Yeah, they need to like be able to make a lump sum of the damage.
I mean, his positioning was so good. Like he snuck in the trees earlier, and it was nighttime at the time, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then he
Yeah,
was
it's
just
very
hiding over
very
here.
very similar to the arcade position at this tree here, bottom. You remember this spot?
where-
Yeah. The pool cam at bottom.
Oh
there,
yeah.
This position. That was also a very good spot.
What a play. What a play. And what was once a close game ain't so close anymore. It's nearly a 10k gold swing for DK, who now lead by 8k gold, 3k experience. And oh, by the way, they've got Tiny Wisp. If it ever was a difficult game, they could always resort to some rat Dota, some backdoor Dota. But I think they could just go for the frontal assault this game. Tiny's already got Aghanims. Mushi's got Vit Booster, Sanjiasha. He's still out farming this Tiny. I don't even know how that's possible. He was level 2 and abandoned his lane to go help mid. Then he started farming Ancient. Suddenly he was the most farmed hero on his team. And he's still the most farmed hero.
Yeah, it's basically because of the change to the participation. Where when you participate in team fights, you get assists and you win fights, you get towers, you get a lot of gold from it.
While that was happening, Super just got blown up bottom lane. And they still have relocate. They didn't even use it there. They just ran up and killed him. Now the
He
unstable...
tried to kill the Wiz actually,
Dyer's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack.
but Wiz has Ghost Scepter.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah, well, Wisp with Ghost Scepter's really strong this game. Vici Gaming, their only big magic damage is the Timber Saw, who just seems like he's not able to do anything. He just rocks in and dies.
Yeah, he's too underfarmed to be able to do anything now. 0, 5 and 1 and only a mech. He even went for a mech.
Well, what do you think Vici Gaming can do now? Do they have any options? Are they just
Not
screwed?
much. They just need to try and pick a good fight and maybe wait for the next Roshan to spawn since they are dire side, and they can just use that to their advantage and try and get the A-gates and hope they get a good fight. Because if they try and fight
Dyer's top
properly,
tower
head on,
is under attack.
at this rate, it's gonna be a very difficult fight unless they have a very good arrow connection to, and they was able to kill off Mushi first before the relocate comes in. Then maybe they can win the fight.
Theodore Roosevelt, he's not speaking so softly anymore. He's swinging that big stick. He's going to work. Burning is letting his play do the talking. And he is 6-2-5. Tony on a rampage. The Wisp is 3-1-9. I mean, credit to these supports of DK. They've only died 3 times as Crystal Beta Wisp. 2 of the squishier supports in the game. So that is
Yeah,
quite
and you
impressive.
and you look at Vici's heroes like Timbersaw, Lifestealer, Templar Assassin.
Yeah, these heroes should be food
Oh.
for them.
All of these heroes kill Maiden and this very easily.
Not anymore with the Ghost Scepter, but yeah, you'd think they would have gotten more kills up to this point.
Just total control by DK right now. They're just missing the gem. They have a lot of sentries on the Maiden, but they don't have a gem on the Beano yet.
And at this point, I mean, if DK just want to farm like until the Tiny's got 3 or 4 big items, they can do that. And they can always punish Vici if Vici tries to keep up. Because when Vici's off on their own farming, they just get relocate ganked, they get smoke ganked with the relocate on top of it. DK, just much better when it comes to like a mobility-based game. And, well, they're going to have it now.
Yeah, they're
Face
gonna
on
be
choose.
very, very efficient on the map with the Wiz Tiny as well, and all of the DK heroes can farm jungle very easily. But compared to Vici's heroes, the Shadow Demon and the Mirana supports doesn't really farm jungle effectively.
Yeah, and Shadow Demon, even though he's gone max Shadow Poison, not exactly like your fastest farmer either. So here they go, Avalanche Toss, they go straight onto the Timber Saw. Look at him melt. He didn't even get to use a spell. Forget about reactive armor. Ain't doing squat for you now. Super pops his rage, but he's just getting right-clicked by the big hammers. The Alks making chop suey out of him. Burning, just giving him the sledgehammer. GG. Vici Gaming get 3-0'd, KO'd, and knocked out of WPC Ace. This time they will say GG before disconnecting.
They have to play a losers match, right?
Yeah, they do play the 3rd, 4th place match, but they are out of the running for the grand finals. That was brutal.
Yeah, what a performance by DK. the laning decisions on the first game until the third game was so good. The way they played the early game, the way they laned their heroes, the rotations, the adjustments they made after looking at Vici's lanes, they just made so good decisions, the games. And
It feels like this kind of reminds me of Mushi at TI3, where he just kept on drafting really creatively, really well, and it seemed like he always, like, Orange always had the right lanes and right adjustments. And, you know, the one game where KYXY denied the Aegis, I mean, they were playing that game perfectly up until that point. So this DK lineup, it feels like Mushi's getting hot as a drafter and in-game leader at just the right time.
yeah, he could not have planned this game like the lanes better. I didn't even think of like he would have rotated the way the lanes he did, but it was just really, and not to mention the Vino, like you mentioned, was a very good pick against the heroes of Vici Gaming. So all in all, it was just a very good strategy execution by DK.
Guys, that is going to wrap up today's broadcast. DK take it. They take it 3-0. Vici Gaming will play the third, fourth place decider tomorrow. We'll be back for the next match tomorrow as well. That's IG versus LGD China. That is your other semifinal match. The winner of that moves on to play DK in the grand finals, which will be happening on New Year's Day in China time, which might be late at night or early in the morning if you're from Europe or the United States, or North America, I should say. But on that note, guys, we're done for today. Of course, I'm LD, and he's Winter. If they enjoyed your casting, where can they find you?
My Twitter is at twitter.com/winterdota, and my Facebook page is facebook.com/winterdota. How about you, Mr. David?
Well, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, although I don't really use it anymore, .com/LDDota. Winter, thanks for joining me, man. I know you had to take off work for this, so I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you, friend. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up now. We will see you tomorrow, I believe, at same time. It's definitely the same place.
It's not the same time.
Was it earlier?
It's 10. The first game starts at 10 a.m. Singapore time. So I remember you sent the schedule to me. It's not the
10
same
a.m.,
time.
which is... that's like... I think that's 8 p.m. my time.
All right. So it's better for you.
Or Sunday. It's a couple hours earlier. Okay, so forget what I said. It's not the same time, but it is the same place. Anyway, guys, we'll post that schedule on our Twitter and Facebook. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.